Bob Iger's about to have a very important talk with investors again. Yep. Are they going to bring up Fantastic Four? And if they do, what are they going to say about it? Considering it was just appears to be beaten by Superman. Will they bring it up? Will they brag about it in the investors' call? Or do they just kind of slip by that and just talk about Lilo and Stitch maybe?
Well, definitely. I mean, look, Lilo and Stitch, they'll be. We have the biggest movie of the year, the biggest movie of the summer, Lilo and Stitch. We've already greenlit Lilo and Stitch 2, and we had Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to have to do.
And they'll just refer to it as one of the biggest movies of the summer.
Yeah, DCU is in better shape right now. They're at least taking visitors. Marvel, touch and go.
And this is just it, right? The DCU at this point, they have their diehards, they have their stands. The problem with the DCU is they're also suffering from the Snyder folks that there's some of them out there that probably just refuse to go see this movie no matter what, even though they're fans of Superman because of that. I mean, so you've got this weird thing out there that's kind of unique to DC with everything that went on the last few years. But I think clearly Superman has engendered a much greater deal of curiosity from the general audiences, the normies out there, to go check it out. And the positive word of mouth is having the impact, seemingly, of what you'd want to have for a movie like this. It doesn't mean it's going to blow the doors off and make $1 billion. And we keep saying that, just to be clear. But the comparison, like I talked about a week ago, I said, we're all talking about Man of Steel, and we can talk about that and talk about how this movie is performing differently with and without inflation adjustments. But I said the real comparison is going to be, how does Superman perform against Fantastic Four? Well, here we are. And so far, the indication is turning out to be, even after just 3 days, pretty much exactly like I expected it to be. You're going to get that typical Marvel load the box up front and poof. It's going to fall apart on you. I can't, if we all of a sudden, if school had opened up this week, if we had a holiday Monday, if we had, something else, something that was a variance from what we had with Superman, we could try to speculate as to, okay, well, school opened up this week, so that would have depressed the weekdays coming into this week and whatnot. But as far as nobody's going back to school yet on July 28th. School starts most places in the country, not this coming week, but the next week. So there's really no excuse for Fantastic Four not being able to perform in a similar fashion to Superman, but for the fact that people just don't care.
2 points and a question for you, Valiant. The 2 points are the difference categorically in this film and Superman. One, Superman actually has character progression in it. Like, Superman changes from the beginning of the film to the end. He realizes that his parents on Earth are more important than his upbringing at Krypton, which was all of 1 year. And folks can get mad about that. They can disagree with it, but there is a character arc.
Yeah.
And then there's none of that in Fantastic Four. Nobody changes. Nobody learns anything. The second thing is, Superman, people are angry about it. They're passionate about it. They're talking about it. They're debating the movie.
Yep.
You can like it, you can dislike it, you can say it's got flaws, whatever, but people are actually talking about it. I don't think people are going to talk about Fantastic Four because I don't think that it's an actual adventure. It's just like, well, some stuff happened, and honestly, you can watch Avengers Doomsday, and if you never saw this, I don't see how it could change anything. RDJ is in this movie for 2 seconds. You don't see his face, and it's not connected with anything that I can tell that matters. So, okay, 2 points there. Here's the question. Bob Iger's about to have a very important talk with investors again. Yep. Are they going to bring up Fantastic Four? And if they do, what are they going to say about it? Considering it was just appears to be beaten by Superman.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is for this.
Do you think, but will they bring it up? Will they brag about it in the investors' call? Or do they just kind of slip by that and just talk about Lilo and Stitch maybe?
Well, definitely. I mean, look, Lilo and Stitch, they'll be. We have the biggest movie of the year, the biggest movie of the summer, Lilo and Stitch. We've already greenlit Lilo and Stitch 2, and we had Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to have to do.
And they'll just refer to it as one of the biggest movies of the summer. That's where they're going to dial it in, right? Is to that, they'll just play to whatever marketing buzz they can put behind it. But are they really still going to glom onto the fact that the Walt Disney Company is continuously feeding them overwhelmingly mediocre performance? I don't know. And again, the problem is that none of that's going to matter if they come out and they say, well, the theme parks didn't do quite what we'd hoped.
Well, I don't want to say anything that gets us in trouble with the investors, but I wouldn't bet against that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I think they'll try to spin it as a success, actually.
Oh, sure.
Because at this point, this is one of the only other films they've had this year that are successful. Now, how are they going to present that success? Are they going to turn around and go and pretend that, la, 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 nothing has changed. We were right all along. See, it just took time for the audience to catch up. Or are they going to try and turn around and say, yeah, we saw that we had a little bit of course correction. We're moving back towards more popular characters, less, connected event movies. But unfortunately, they can't even say that, because one of the reasons I think Fantastic Four had a big opening the way it did is it's not attached to anything else. That's the one thing it really had going for it, is it wasn't required. You didn't have any required homework to go see this movie.
But
the first Marvel movie in how many years? In some cases they do, because they made sure that they went out there and they put that as part of the press. Now, I agree with you. Now, as the general public may not know that as a whole, but I think that was at least well known enough that I think it made a difference on the opening weekend compared to Brave New World and the Thunderbolts, because both of those movies, the big problem going into those, besides no interest whatsoever, because there's no interesting characters in there, even though they tried to bolster, the Red Hulk as an interesting character in Brave New World, you have this situation where this is a movie that it doesn't require you to have seen any of the previous films before it. You can literally watch this movie without ever seeing a Marvel movie, period. And that is the first time they've had that in 20 years, and this is the best they could do.
Well, besides Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean,
even that had required homework. It still technically did.
It did, but people
still
showed
had
up
to have seen some Fox movies and stuff. Yeah, because they saw those movies.
Exactly. Well, they wanted to see those two actors, playing those two characters. I think that was key.
You had two of the most popular. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, nobody. It's like, okay, everybody's telling me that Pedro is big, but nobody in the real world believes it.
But he's the daddy of the internet. What are you talking about?
I think everybody's just recognized it's like, look, this is not 2022, because Mandalorian, Star Wars is done. It's not what it was. Like we said, the movie coming out next summer, right around the same time, allegedly, is Spider-Man. It's not going to do what they think it's going to do, because that ship has long sailed. They're way late to the game on that one. I don't want to rehash that one, but I mean, look. It's just a matter of are going back to the Disney investor side. Are they really going to be happy when? And again, by the time we have the meeting, it's still going to be in the middle of its run. It's not even going to have reached day 17 by that point. They'll look at it and they'll say that, and Fantastic Four continues to be, one of the top performing movies at the box office. It may still be the biggest movie of the weekends or something. I'm sure it will, because there's really nothing else coming out there. And I know
they'll definitely build it up as a lead into Doomsday.
Right.
Don't mistake that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, are they going to be happy and say, "Oh, congratulations, you did $100 million more than Captain Falcon DEI"? Are we really going to be pleased about that? We should.
And the guy who's leading it is the leader in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah,
that character is going to be your leader.
And he's the guy that's leading Star Wars next summer too.
I've literally heard there's 4 different leaders of the Avengers now. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't
there's
all right.
It's Reed Richards, and then they are, what I've heard is behind the scenes by the second one, they're trying to get Chris Pratt, and I don't know if that contract's done and everything, but Chris Pratt to be the head of the Avengers. I don't know, Tom. Who are the other two you've heard real quick?
Oh, wasn't it Ironheart and
Riri?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I can't remember the other one.
But I can't handle that.
Riri Williams. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.